Hey y'all. Hey. We made it. Y'all. It's been a time. There's been some stuff going on, but you know what? By the grace of God, we're here and we are here for episode 5 of season 3, Sipping Tea with Stacy T. I'm your girl Stacy. I know that it looks a little fuzzy in here. We're just gonna do the best that we can, y'all. It's been a week. Let me just kind of catch you guys up. There's been a lot going on. I was managing someone close to me that was in the hospital, and that was very stressful and all the things. But God is good all the time, and I am just, I'm sitting in a space of gratefulness for who God is and how He shows up even in the moments where we're like, God, like what's going on? I don't know if you've ever been there, but I've definitely been in those moments where I've been like, God, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening, but I do trust that God has got me. And so I appreciate the fact that I'm able to still do this. I was, upset because I try not to miss the days. But you're going to have 2 sipping with teas this week. That's all I can tell you. It's Monday. Typically, I do them on Saturday. It just was not conducive for me getting it done in the last couple of days. So I appreciate you all hanging with me. Those of you going to be watching this late, which I'm assuming is all of you, because this is a very abnormal time, but I wanted to do it when I had time. Before we get into it, it's called Sipping Tea with Stacy T, so we have to have the tea. We're going to do a regular, one of my favorites. It is the Arizona peach tea, Arizona iced tea peach tea. I love it, love it, love it. So that is what we will be drinking on today. Um, Let me just put some in here, and then we're going to get started. So I'm hoping that everybody's doing well, hoping that everybody's having, a good day, had a good weekend, is having just, blessings, abundance, favor, all the things that sometimes we forget we, need. Right? All right. So I'm just going to pour some of that in here. Y'all, I love this tea so much. And for all you who are like, oh, there's a lot of sugar, mind your business. Today is not the day for that. Okay. All right. Today's not the day for that. Pick and choose your days, or as I say, read the room. But again, just a couple of quick updates about what's been going on with me. I did indeed finish my journal, so I'm really excited. It will be released as soon as I can get it formatted properly. But I'm just so grateful that God, whew, y'all, these flies, that God gave me this thing to bring forward and to bless people and to encourage people in a season that is a hard season. When God gave me this whole concept about, the diamond season, I didn't really know what I was going to be doing with it or how it was going to apply to multiple things. But I've had people, when they heard it, and I thought it was just a me thing. Like, I thought it was something He was telling me, and I was grateful for that. But so many people have kind of talked to me about how it's been something that they have been managing and how it's blessed them through their season. And I'm like, okay, I didn't expect that. But again, you can't not expect what God does. God does whatever He does in the way that He does it, right? And so just grateful for that. But then also in addition to that, I was talking to somebody and they gave me this concept, and it's funny because y'all, for those of you who don't know, I'm silly. I love to laugh, and there's been this group of I would say like sketches. You know how people do sketch comedies? There's been this group of sketches that I would say that I've been thinking about for quite some time, but didn't really know what to do with it. And then I was also in a space where I was really concerned about how people might take them because some people are very very churchy. I mean, I'm gonna just say it, right? Very very churchy, and I didn't want people to be offended. But y'all, we need to laugh. Do we always have to be like mega serious? Because I'm not built like that. So you'll be seeing some of those come, and they'll be called Christ on the Couch. So I think it's going to be a fun opportunity for me to use something that I've been using as a term for quite some time, anyways, and then build off of that. So, yeah, God is awesome. He's been doing those great things for me, and for those of you who have been waiting on Him to do great things for you, don't think He's forgotten about you. I'm not anything special in terms of he doesn't have respect of person, right? So it's not like he's going to bless me and then not bless you. So that's that. The other thing that I want to share is that, I've been going through some things where I feel like the enemy was really just constantly on me, on me, on me. And what I will say is during those periods of time, God has been so amazing in giving me more and more things. And based on those things, God has given me this whole grouping of word to share, different pieces of word to share. And y'all, just I'm telling you, He hasn't forgotten about you. In those quiet moments, just keep seeking after him, keep recognizing that he's building, he's taking away, he's subtracting, he's adding, he's doing all the math, all the math, but it's all going to work out in your good. The equation is that it works out for your good. All right, so with that, let's get started about today. I'm going to take a sip of this because y'all already know I'm going to love it. So, oh, so good. Um, so what did I want to talk about? I want to talk about something that is important because so many people, including myself, have been managing a lot of stress, a lot of heaviness, and I've spoken about it before. But in speaking about it recently, there's been a very direct feeling about how I should talk about it, and it's in terms of in terms of rocks in general. And I was just talking about it on TikTok actually, and recognizing that that is the thing that I want to bring to you had been something the idea of heaviness and people being weary and all that. I've been speaking about that, and I feel like there's a reason why I've had a lot of thought about that. And I know that it's not just me that is feeling that way, feeling really heavy, feeling really overwhelmed, feeling really just pressed down. And I'm not talking about pressed down, shaking together and running over. I'm just talking about pressed down, oppressed, heavy, disheartened, that type of pressing. And when I was thinking about it in terms of the rocks that we carry, so it's like putting on a backpack, a spiritual backpack, right? So imagine, how some people walk and they walk with those weighted vests. This is the same type of idea. But this is about all the things that we carry, because the reality of it is there's no escaping a life where there's not stress. There's no escaping a life where there's not heaviness or, disappointment or any of those things, right? We're all, and I said this before, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So we are all living in this world. And the idea is that we're going to experience the things that are meant for us to experience here, because they're going to reform us, reshape us. They're going to qualify us. They're going to cleanse us, right? So all those things are true. And so the reality is that as we're going through those things, the experience that we have is not always going to be an easy one. There are going to be some things that are easier than others. But if you've been through repeated seasons of a certain thing, so I'm going to say, like, for example, if you've gone through repeated seasons of heaviness, right? If you've gone through repeated seasons of disappointment, many people have disappointed you. They've not shown up for you. They've spoken badly about you behind your back. They've spread rumors. They have joked or laughed when other people said nasty things about you, instead of, saying, hey, don't talk about my person like that, my friend, my family member, or whatever, right? They could have been somebody who was jealous of you, whatever it was. But you've had those experiences with people that weren't good to you. And the reality is that God often is trying to express to us that not only may those people not be good for us in that moment, but maybe they've never been good for us. Right? They may have never been good for us. And the reality is them talking about us, them dragging us, them spreading rumors about us, or laughing behind our back, all of those things, and the heaviness that we're feeling about that is because we're carrying a rock that we were never meant to carry. A lot of times I don't know if anybody's ever seen or skimmed rocks, right? Where you see those rocks that are in the river and people skim them and they bounce off the water all the way along. Sometimes the reality of it is God has given us that rock, and there's something about that rock in that moment that we needed. But then there's a point where he wants us to skim that rock and let it go and let that thing go where it needs to go. And I'm not saying even in a violent way, but in a way that allows for that rock to end up where it needs to be. Because if you've ever seen rocks in the river, like river rocks, rocks, they are typically smooth. Why? Because the water has continued to mold them and shape them and take off things that were never meant to be attached to them. That's the job that happens in those seasons, right? And so the fact of the matter is, we are sometimes trying to hold on to a thing. We're trying to hold on to a rock that God has asked us to release. And so what happens when we don't release a thing when we're supposed to? We now have to carry the weight of it. So that God was like, I told you, remember that time when that person was speaking badly about you and you kept excusing it and making reasons why they may have and all the things. And I was trying to tell you in that season that that person was not meant for you. That person was going to try to drag you down a wrong path. That person was going to try to hurt you or steal from you or take from you or embarrass you or diminish you in some way, shape, or form. But you were so set on holding on to that thing that I was telling you to release. And so now you've chosen to carry this weight of a relationship that you were never meant to hold on to. And so for some reason, some of us make that decision, right? I've definitely made that decision. And so sometimes that's that rock of disappointment. But the thing about disappointment is it never comes in once. So now you've had another person that maybe was connected to that person, or a person that you thought was cool with you, but now you've recognized they're talking about you as well. So now you put that additional rock in your backpack, right? So now you have more than one rock, and then you try to confide in a family member or another friend, and they don't treat you that good, or they don't really care. They're not carrying your pain or your concerns with any level of respect or any level of love or any level of care and kindness, right? They're just like, okay, so it is what it is, and whatever, deal with it. You're this, you're that, or whatever. I used to be told that I was sensitive, right? I'm sure people still feel that way about me, but the fact of the matter is, now I have those additional pains, those additional affronts, those additional attacks. And because I chose to carry the first rock, now I'm just going to put those other things in my backpack. What that reminds me of is a season where the young Stacy would consistently get hurt, right? Injured over this place, over that place. You're not enough. You're too much. You're too this. You're too that, right? And I would want to, instead of dealing with it in the moment, I would just put it in a backpack. I called them compartments back then, but you can look at it either way. I put them in a compartment, and I would just keep toting it around, toting the pain around. How long are you going to continue to carry that disappointment and the people that are attached to it in that backpack? Because your rocks are getting heavy, and now you can't stand up straight. You can't look to the hill from whence cometh your help if you're looking at your feet, because the weight of those rocks has pushed you down. The only rock that you should continue to cling to is the rock that is the Savior, right? The rock, not a rock. But we continue to let disappointment, we continue to let envy, we continue to let all these things consistently weigh us down. I'm just going to tell you this: healing doesn't happen outside of stress. The stress of life is going to continue to come. Bills still need to be paid. People still need to be taken care of. If you have children, you still have to take care of your kids. If you have, situations in your life, if you have a job, you still need to deal with all the responsibilities of life and the job and home and yourself. So guess what? Even me just saying that, I can hear the levels of stress and strain in each of the rocks of those things that we have to carry. But that's why it's so important to know that God is the heavy load sharer, right? He's the burden bearer. And he says, come to me, all ye who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest for your souls. Take my yoke upon me, because my yoke is easy and my burden is light, right? Why does he say that? He doesn't say that because you're not going to have rocks to carry. If you notice, in nowhere in that did he say, I don't know why you have those rocks. I don't know why you have those burdens. I don't know why there's heaviness. He doesn't say that, because in your human experience, you're going to have heaviness. You're going to have rocks that sit on your back and sometimes take the wind out of you, right? You're going to have those moments that the rocks seemingly keep increasing because the responsibilities keep coming. The disappointments keep coming. The people taking advantage of you, they keep coming. All these things on top of your back all the time. And you're like, God, what in the world is happening? And sometimes he said, it's because I'm trying to condition you. I need for you to know in the next stage, in the phase of your life, that there are going to be people that try to take advantage of you. There are going to be people that don't mean any good for you. There are going to be people that will consistently take and disappoint and envy and operate in hatred. They're not operating in any of the fruit of the spirit. And I want you to know that the step that I'm moving you to, I have to condition you to know that you'll be able to outlast those things. I need to know that you're going to be able to withstand the fiery darts of the enemy, because you know the weapons of your warfare. You understand what it is to have a rock, but also go to the rock and bring him the rocks that you're carrying. You don't need to be doing that. He never said, I need you to carry all the pain of the world. He wants you to bring it to him, lay it at his feet. But he's not going to take it if you're going to carry it. Go ahead and keep carrying it. And I want you to understand that when he takes it, it doesn't mean you don't feel some of the stress of it. But it means that you know that you don't have to hold it on your own, because his yoke is easy and his burden is light for him. It's light work. You can throw him all the boulders and it's light work. He can hold the world in his hand, right? The whole world, it says. So your little stress, your little strain, it is just little to him. It doesn't mean it's not important to him, because it matters to you, but it's not something that's going to take it out on him. He just flicks it away. But for you, it's devastating. For you, it's like life altering. For you, it's defeating. For you, it's just so challenging. For you, it feels impossible, insurmountable. It feels like every step you're just getting more and more heavy laden. And the reality of it is that may be the truth, because you're in a season that God is trying to condition you. You're in a season where he's trying to equip you to fight. And sometimes so many of us have had, lessons where somebody else fought the battle for us. This is not one of those situations. As we heal, as we sit in a space where we say, God, make me better, you're saying, God, make me better, which means you already know that there's some stuff that needs to change. And when you're knowing that, and when you're in that space and you know things have to change, then guess what? You're going to have to consistently go to God about it. You're going to consistently have to take the rock, look at the rock. What rock am I carrying? Why have I made this decision to carry this thing that God never told me I had to carry? And if he did say that I was supposed to carry it, he's going to help me. He's not going to have you passed out on the side of the road. He needs for you to be able to continue to look to the hill. He needs that for you. Because he needs for you to be able to see that he's still there. He needs for you to know, I can look up to the hill and I know that my help is going to come. So I want us to really sit with that. Why are we carrying some of these rocks? Is it because you thought that was to be the strong person? You felt like you just need to take it and take it and take it and take it? I'm going to tell you right now, if there's a rock that you're carrying in your life that has been so heavy that it has caused you to stumble, it's been so heavy that it has made you feel like nothing is going to be able to change in your life. If it's a rock that is so heavy that has made you consider, maybe God is punishing me in this season. Maybe God has forgotten about me in this season. Maybe God wants me to quit and run. And that's the enemy. We know that that's not how God functions. So I want you to really sit back and reflect as you know that you're in this season, as you know you're in a season of being equipped, as you know you're in a season that you're a diamond and things are being cut off of you and things are being lasered and things are being chipped away and things are being polished and things are being set in the environment. Notice that and look at your environment. Are you carrying all of these stones, all these boulders, all this heavy weight because you're in an environment that God never intended for you to be in? Again, he is equipping you. He's conditioning you. But when you're conditioned, you recognize, wait a minute, is this working? Am I doing something that is working for me? Or am I sitting in a thing? Am I doing an activity it's not helping me to grow? It's not helping me to have more stamina, right? It's not allowing for me to understand myself and have psychological strength. It's not allowing for me to have physical strength. It's not giving me a strategy. If none of those things are happening, inspect your rocks. Inspect the people that you're in relationship with. Inspect the choices that you've been making. Pay attention to all of those things. Because in this season, in this diamond season, God is really ready to move people forward. He's ready to bless people with the next step. But the next step with a whole bunch of rocks in your backpack that you were never meant to carry, those can't go. Not every single person is going to go with you on their journey. There are going to be some people that don't get it. There are going to be some people that don't think you deserve it. There are going to be some people that think you're unworthy. There are going to be some people that make you want to, forget the whole thing. There are going to be some moments where you feel yourself like, God, really, you chose me? There's going to be those times. But in those moments, don't go to the rocks that are trying to create themselves in the backpack. Don't go to the rock. If you've ever had a pebble in the inside of your shoe, you know how aggravating that is. Don't let people aggravate you or displace you or cause you such discomfort that you don't go to the rock to get your healing, to get your freedom, to get your sanity, to get your peace, to get that calming that you want in your spirit, to get the joy that you've lost years and years ago. Because guess what? It is possible if you go to the rock and stop letting all the rocks that he created, don't let those things take more precedence than the rock. All right, y'all. I don't need to be hanging on here that late. God told me that that's what I needed to share. And so that's what I'm sharing with you. I want to again thank you and apologize for this not being in the time frame that I intended it to be in. But I am trying to stick with doing it every single week because that is what I was told to do. And so that is what I'm doing until God says something different. With that, y'all, I want to say again, thank you. I look forward to giving you guys more information about the journal as it becomes available. I want to thank you all for your support over the years, over the time. I also want to thank the people who have been telling me that they've been watching this after the fact. I've had several people come up to me and say, yeah, I love your sipping tea. And I was like, I didn't know you watched it because nobody leaves me messages. So feel free to leave me messages of encouragement. If you have a specific topic you'd like for me to speak about, if you have a question, if you'd like to be a featured guest on Sipping Tea, if you have something that you feel like you'd like to share, let me know that as well. I will tell you that it has to be something that I personally relate to because that's the purpose of the platform. So I just want to say thank you again for all of your support, for your kindness. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for PRAYing for me and not PREYing on me. So I appreciate all those things. Be blessed, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and extend to yourself first and then to me, your girl, a measure of grace. I will see you on Saturday. This coming Saturday, which is the 9th, I believe, on the next episode, season 3, episode 6 of Sipping Tea with Stacey T. Bye, everyone.